You guys talk.
Hello?
All right,
What?
my sound is working now. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
oh no, I brought out a French bait. My bad.
Oui, oui! The Frenchman has returned!
Does it show that we're live? Yes, it does. Nightbot is not alive yet. Oh, that's why. Title's wrong. Where is UMass on these rankings? Whoa, UMass is at tier 0. They'll be there whenever UMass gets to Premier. Respectable, elite. They're on their own level, their own tier.
So are we ready? Ready for the dirt?
I only got 4 people in chat, which is you two and Wacko. Where are all the people that were bugging for dirt tonight?
Facts.
Give it 5 minutes. Motherfuckers don't show. It's gonna have to be a Monday. Damn, Humpty Dumpty showing out.
Humphrey for the cause.
Oh,
Slickly for the cause.
Yo, Slickly's always one for the cause, bro.
Unfortunately, you will not see a Brown showing up.
Brown can. Oh wait, actually, yeah, Brown can unite with Northeastern. You guys can have a combo spot.
Slickly, you're pseudo 17 right there. Count yourself lucky.
Actually, I think Brown would be ranked higher than Northeastern, or would be higher than Northeastern.
If they played in both leagues.
I didn't turn off alerts. Trying to turn off the alert.
Thing. Why we
Bro, I'm getting
Blitz.
flashbanged. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
oh my god, I'm so blind, bro.
Where the fuck is the alert? I'm trying to
Oh
mute it.
my god. It's like mint in the 1v5, bro.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna have to. Why am I getting blitz flashed? We ain't losing a Delta Force. Ayo, Delta Force lost to the Fishermans. Well, fuck it. We got 7 people. It's more than the usual people that show up anyways. NJIT catching L after L after L after L.
Just
Repeatedly catching L's.
just a lot of not good.
Somehow doing better with their subs instead of their main roster. Not looking good.
With 4 subs, they managed to beat they put up more rounds against Auburn than their 5 starters.
Yeah. 4 subs, they went 7-4, 7-4. They lost 4-7, 4-7 rather. But then with their full roster, they got 0-7, 2-7. It's rough.
Yeah. Minus solid too. Minus solid is an automatic ranking drop. Unfortunate for the man.
Ohio State B, they have won 1 game since making it into Premier, and that was in CA Open. It wasn't even in Premier. So they've caught straight tumbleweeds. Dude, how do I turn off the fucking alerts?
In the meantime, yeah, you guys from Ohio State B, if you guys are in here, listen. This is your wake up call, guys. You made it into Premier. You did the legwork, and then you dropped the ball so hard. Like it literally is in the back rooms. The ball clipped into the back rooms. And your only win is against Rutgers. Losses to Buffalo and Auburn in CA Open. Like, just please win a game.
It's not looking good. And just these lower teams, you see -7 and -9, like massive drops because they're just not winning.
Winning's the way to get up the rankings. Losing's the way to go down, and they've done a lot of losing.
Alright. Subs should be paused. Follow alert should be paused. I won't be hearing myself. Oh shit, UMass about to spawn in and take down Ohio State B? Nah, Solid
Milwaukee
apparently is not on their
University.
CEA roster.
Yeah. Solid does not play CA for some reason.
Yeah.
We'll get to number 1 when we get there. Nothing really bad at Ohio State other than losing to Converse 1 game. Ohio State B, they haven't fucking been winning. A&M, get your shit together. Lost to Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they kind of just been beating no-name teams. Kind of need them to step it up, make a playoff run. Trine, Bozos.
We don't talk about it, okay?
Bozos McGee.
-3 because we deserve -3. The only reason we're not minus more is because everybody else was selling harder.
Yeah, started off the season hot, wins at Western Mish, Auburn, Fisher, looking promising, and then we see the start of the downward spiral.
Yeah.
Losses to Kennesaw, Butler, a stripped UAH, and then the worst one of them all is St. Mary's. I mean, I don't know how you even lose that one. That's
Okay.
just a massive L.
Worst one of them all. Up to the team right above us, St. Mary's. What a surprise!
They're fucking, Montclair, Saint Humpty Dumpty. I'm gonna need Primo to get you guys in the weight room. Get some bench presses. Get your keyboards. Move them up and down. Try to get some W's on your chest. Cause the way y'all been playing lately, other than the Trine W, y'all been lacking in the department of the W's.
And look, I don't mean to do you dirty, but on that Trine W, there was a certain person on Trine's team who went not double negative, not triple negative, not quadruple negative, 5x negative. He had 5 times as many deaths as he had kills. We will not name names, and I will not do the man dirty, but it was not a good performance.
All I'm
And
gonna
that
say
was a
is
close game.
if y'all don't get some wins in there, we're just gonna have to start calling you Saint Middies. It's in the books.
St. Poo is living up to the name.
Fair to say.
UIUC. These guys are new to the block. They
New
are.
guys on the block.
They had one.
Undefeated and open.
Yeah, they had 2 decent wins.
Check out TAMU, Texas A&M, and UNT.
Yeah, A&M. For why you're down here, you only moved up because people moved down, and then UNT, who's no longer on the sheet. Thus, UIUC has made an appearance. So we'll see how long they last. We'll probably have a good run against them in playoffs. They got that AHA kid. Seems like a freakazoid. We'll see if he's hard enough to carry them to playoffs to take Ohio State Beast's fucking place, because we already know right now Ohio State Beast getting relegated.
Factual.
Auburn, the EXO and crew, or should I say, Duckies and Dynamite crew. They kind of winning where they're winning. They're losing where they're losing. Kind of staying the same.
It's not
I
looking
think
too
all
bad.
their wins are pretty, quality. You beating Ohio State B is good. UCF's a decent win. NGIT, I mean, that's a ranked team. Penn State, that's a
Twice.
good win. Yeah, I mean, it's just the losses to Trine and RIT, right? The RIT one being the most probably devastating. The reason why they didn't move up more. If y'all would have beat RIT, it would have been a little bit better. But just kind of humming along, chumming along, doing a whole lot of not big things, but big enough things to warrant a little move up.
I will say Auburn's wins tend to be strong. 2-0s, they have 1-2-1, but then their losses are almost always 1-2. They get that map still. So again, like Bait said, doing well. You gotta not lose to the teams that you're not supposed to lose to.
Oklahoma State. Aside from getting blown out by Kansas State today in football, they've actually been winning where they need to in CR6 CEA. So they're kind of moving up just because they're winning. Everyone else is tumbling down the pile, catching L's. But they keep winning. They're gonna keep moving up. People keep losing. They're gonna keep tumbling down. Decent open team. Obviously, a couple better open teams than them, but where they're at, they're holding their ground.
I mean, just a lot of quality wins. You got wins over St. Mary. You take a map off Davenport, which no one really thought they would do. Beating a team like A&M, beating a team like UNT. I mean, you're beating ranked teams and taking maps off high end teams. It's kind of like a what's not to like, which is one blip with the loss against Iowa State. That's pretty much it.
The most feared quote unquote super team. You could do Slash Brown here.
True.
If we were talking about the Brown portion, they might be a little bit higher because they do have a win over Edinburgh. They do have a win over UGA. The Northeastern faction, kind of just winning where they're winning. They did lose recently to
Penn State,
which is not ranked. Penn State was considered to be ranked, but they're not ranked. So Northeastern, they have one L in CA, undefeated in CR6 to my understanding. They could get it together, but it's the super team, so we'll see how they do in playoffs. So
Next on the list, go ahead.
I don't know. I thought it was Slickly that's saying it, but no, you wrote it.
The next on the list here, Purdue. I just want to say to these Purdue guys, you are very close to pulling an Ohio State B. You had a couple wins early, and it's just been L's since. So same thing there. If you wanna get the respect that you think you deserve, you gotta show out against one of these premier teams. Right now, I'm seeing a win against Edinburgh and a win against UTSA early in the season, but then recently the loss to UTSA. So can't really credit the first one when the second one happened more recently.
then they got to figure out their roster issues more than anything.
This is true.
UMBC, these guys are on the rise. Joe and company, undefeated in CEA Open. CR6 Open. They're not in CEA. We'll see what happens in playoffs. They might be in the running to make a leap at fucking Premier. They didn't make Premier last time because they lost to Auburn, from what I remember.
These guys are definitely a good solid stack. Their most notable wins are their two most recent ones, Rutgers, Kennesaw. From what I understand, from what just said in chat, but JJ, they might have had subs against this team. But these guys also, I mean, they beat my team Trine in the Premier Quals, so can't count them out of anything for sure.
GCU, or also known as GC Poo. GC has been pooping the bed harder than Mason has a forehead. They are very much struggling in Open. They haven't really been winning any games recently. KZ is the Don. Yo, I'm gonna have to keep my eye out for KZ. But GCU is literally at the bottom of the group. They're probably the candidates to be relegated. Coyote and Italian Water is not enough for Mason to catch some W's in that group. They came close to beating Ohio State, only team not named Converse, but it was on Theme Park, so I assume it was just a defensive slugfest, and whoever had defense last won. But outside of that, they're not really putting up numbers.
Yeah, not really a lot flashy going on with GCU. You know, you've only got one win in Premier, which is Purdue, which is, like we discussed, it's the reason why Purdue moved down is because they don't have any quality wins. GCU is at risk of doing the same. Their most recent match in CA Open being a loss to Texas Tech that was very lopsided, 14-2 diff. It's, you know, simply put, they just got to get the show back on the road. They've got a couple upcoming matchups that could help with that. You know, winning at Edinburgh, winning at Purdue, maybe beating UTSA would help kind of remedy the ranking situation. But until then, you know, a lot of losing going on.
Kennesaw just lost a best of 3 recently to UTSA, but other than that, in their open games, they're winning their open games. In Premier or in CA Invite, they lost to UTSA, they lost to Illinois State, and they beat Bama. So they're kind of like floating in the middle of the leaderboard over there. But if you're struggling against ISU, UTSA, you can't really move that much farther. But they're winning their open game, so let's see if they'll show up in playoffs.
Yeah, just a lot of quality stuff going on with Kent State. I mean,
or Kennesaw.
Kennesaw, that's what I meant. A lot of good stuff going on with Kennesaw. You know, you got wins over quality ranked teams like Trine. Illinois State's another big one. Other than that, if you can just push some of these losses like NC State and Wisconsin that you had, if you could have pushed those to 3-map series, it would have looked a little bit better. But still good stuff going on there.
We got Edinburgh. Recent loss to Brown or / Northeastern super team. But outside of that, they do have a win against UTSA in a best of 1. So it kind of moved them up a bit from where they were down here, like mid-table. But other than that, they're kind of not beating any teams they shouldn't beat outside of that one best of 1. But they're also not either smoking these open teams either that they're playing in CEA.
Yeah, they're definitely the team that's just kind of staying steady here. The only reason they're up so many numbers is because so many teams dropped. These guys have just won the games they're supposed to, couple extra wins in there, and then losing the games that they're supposed to. They're not losing to teams they aren't supposed to lose to.
Davenport has been having like an up and down season. They're They're beating teams that they should be beating. They're competing against mid-tier premier teams, and then they're losing obviously the top teams. So they're kind of like staying afloat. They just recently lost to Texas Tech, so I Tech's over them. But they're kind of just staying the same. They're not. They're kind of the same as Edinburgh. They're kind of staying the same. They're just up there because people dropped.
Yeah, I could see a lot of good things happening in the future for Davenport. You know, their losses are really close, or their loss against Akron was pretty close earlier in the season. You know, obviously the loss to Illinois State, that 2-7 loss, in best of one, not great. Dropping a map to Oklahoma State, not great. But other than that, they really haven't done a whole lot of losing. They really just kind of beat most of the teams in front of them. You know, a big win for them next week would be if they could beat Arizona State and just kind of win out the rest of their matches, redeem themselves against Illinois State. They'd probably shoot up these rankings.
Yeah, they already took out Arizona State once. So, who's to say they couldn't do it again?
The Arizona State Kryptonite. Then we got the Texas Tech. This team has like a little asterisk against them. Right, they forfeited both games yesterday.
Yeah.
But they've been playing their games. They've been kind of hanging around. They've been beating the teams they should be beating. They've been losing the teams that they should be beating. But for a team that's talented, with Camo, Bait, Buck, I think they should be performing a little bit better than fucking Illinois State, Kent State. But they've also, it looks like they might be on the verge of like last winter where they disbanded. It's tough to see. Hopefully the forfeits yesterday was just they just didn't have a sub and not a disband.
Yeah, Texas Tech is a team I describe as there's like a line of average play, and you'll get one of two Texas Tech teams on a given week. You can have the Texas Tech team that could beat Arizona State, or you gotta have the Texas Tech team that loses to ISU.
Jesus.
You know, it's really it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde act where they show up, they could beat anyone, but if they don't, they could lose to a lot of teams.
And fun fact, those two games Beta is talking about occurred 2 days apart. So, I'll tell you how bipolar the team is. All it takes is 2 days for them to go from beating Arizona State 2-0 to losing to Illinois in best of.
Illinois State, fucking Pooper McScoopers. If you're gonna type in chat at more, at least back it up, man. Can't be calling a team, saying a team is outside top 10 because they're droning you out and you're first picked the last 6-7 rounds in a row, and you guys still lose the map, and then you had already lost the previous map before that, and then you go negative on the map. Come on, man, you gotta put the keyboard away and get some kills.
One thing to notice with Illinois State is that their losses tend to be hard losses. Lots of 0-2s. Not many games they're losing or going close.
Yeah, not a lot of 3-map series. If they're losing both.
Yeah, another really bipolar team in my opinion. A lot like Texas Tech.
True.
Where they can lose to UTSA 0-2. They could beat Davenport 7-2. Right, they could beat good teams when they're playing good, but what separates the top echelon teams and the teams kind of in the middle towards this 9 through 15 range is their B and C games are atrocious, and their A games are on par with the top level teams. It's just the top level teams, B and C games, outclass these teams on the bottom.
I will say if in the quote unquote snail rankings, if you rank yourself a top 6 team and you get 2-0'd by UTSA, where snail is your top fragger, there's something wrong with you. You are not a top 6 team. Then they previously lost to Bama too, who's not even ranked. Bama literally is struggle busing in CEA Premier, so you cannot say you're a top 6 team and be struggling over there. 2-1 versus Kennesaw. also over there. Where were we at? Kent State. Kent State, Maddox and Company, or Maddox owning Mort. Yo, but Mort got the frags, but they also got the L. Kent State kind of staying the same. They have that win over ISU, so why they're up there. Not really beating Akron, teams like that, but they're hanging. I think it was like a 7-5, 7-4, and then they play Akron, I believe, next week or the week after.
Yeah, this team definitely is. They're winning some, they're losing some. They could show up game day. I'm not sure if it's really a bipolar thing or if they just are gonna win and gonna lose some. It's not really a. It doesn't feel like they have certain players who are showing up sometimes and aren't others. It feels like the team's a wild card.
Wisconsin, Reverse and Company. And CA Premier, I believe they're undefeated because they got a forfeit win from NCSU, who at the current moment, at Rai, they are taking themselves out of the rankings. They are playing games when they can. When they can't, they can't. Having roster issues, subs issues, and best of luck to Rai in T3 with the Hong Kong Rebels. But other than that, Wisconsin's probably going to be the top seed out of their premier group in CEA, or their invite group. And then their recent loss to UTSA. I believe they also lost to Converse yesterday, or their last week. Did they play Ohio State? Don't
They
remember
did. They lost to Ohio State.
They lost to Ohio State also, so they ain't really catching any W's right now. Unless Reverse going nuclear, it's kind of a struggle bus. And even then, Reverse went quote unquote nuclear, Ton went just as nuclear, and we had the dub. Thus, UTSA is here. UTSA has beat Illinois State this week 2-0. They beat Wisconsin. They lost to Ohio State. They beat Kennesaw last week or the week before. They beat GCU a while back. They beat Purdue. So they're winning what they're winning, but they're not beating any of these upper 5 teams.
Yeah, so I'd say UTSA is definitely the team that fits in their slot the best. They're beating all the teams below them. Very, very few exceptions, and they're just not beating the teams that are above them. So definitely in a good spot there for that team.
We got UGA Black. UGA has le potential. Shout out Juan de Swan, Perplexed, and Teddy, but they haven't really sealed the deal against any of these teams. Losing to ASU, or no, they haven't played ASU. They lost to Ohio State and Converse is who it is. They haven't.
They also
go ahead.
They took the L to the Brown/Northeastern super team in CA Open. So
yeah, so you most definitely UGA are like obviously your top 5, but when you play a team with a fire hydrant, just letting all the water out, you're getting fucking washed down. Akron or Acorn. Acorn catching L's to Arizona State twice this season now. But outside of that, they're kind of hanging their hat on beating all these lower tier premier teams, mid tier premier teams. So they're not really sweating it out. They're getting round differential fucked in CEA because of all the forfeits instead of people actually playing them. But they came down more of the loss to ASU, Converse not losing, Ohio State not losing. So they can't really surpass these right now. Maybe they'll get their shit together, but these 4 are for sure the top 4.
Yeah, Akron, in my opinion, really what they need to move up the rankings is they need to find a win against one of these top 3 teams. Like, simply put, that just seems to be something that they can't do right now. They just can't put it together against a top ranked team like they have been in the past. It's really setting them back.
I think it's also to do with the fact that these guys just haven't had the ability yet. Arizona State's been the only team in these top 4 that they've been able to play against because of the way group stage work, and they just haven't been able to win those games.
Yeah, hopefully they get it together once playoffs rolls around, because right now, not looking good to them. But they'll, based on this and based on their CR6 record, they'll have a top 4 seed, and they'll have in CEA they'll have a top 2 seed. So we'll see how their brackets play out. Arizona State, big wins over Akron. Haven't had the chance to play Ohio State or Converse, but they have caught an L previously to Texas Tech, who's a question mark team. So Arizona State, if they can get their roster struggles in check, they're a powerhouse. If they can't, they're kind of a floater team. Kind of, they can win some, they can lose some. Because the only time I've seen their full 5 is when they've played Akron.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if these ASU boys, the ASU boys always type in trash talk, and they're always like, "Oh, we should be #1" and all that. And it's like, guys, look, if you want to be #1, get your schedules right. Like, if you want to be #1, you gotta take it serious. You can't just use the sub excuse every time and be like, "Oh, we lost to Texas Tech because of subs. Oh, we lost to Davenport because of subs. Oh, we lost to Kent State." If you keep doing that, those losses will add up, and you'll go even further down. I promise you that.
Arizona State is covered. Ohio State. The reason why these are flopped, the only L Ohio State has is to Converse. Converse has an L, which is to Wisconsin, but that was week 1. Outside of that, they've been the Chalet Demons. So people know who they are and what not to play them on. Other than that, you guys are fucking feeding them on Chalet. I don't think a team has taken them close other than Ohio State anywhere on the recent maps other than like a 7-3.
Ohio State looking very strong aside from their loss to Converse, except for the 8-7 weirdly close game to GCU. That's a little scary.
I think that might have been more of a freaking theme park defensive side battle on who had OT last.
True.
But outside of that, Ohio State is dominating the rest of the bunch.
Oh yeah, 7-0s, 7-1s, 7-2s. Not many games enemy teams getting more than 2 or 3 rounds.
Converse, you guys just got to stop playing them on Chalet. All you guys playing them on Chalet, you guys are tossing. Ultimate tossers. But them, they are the reigning champs for a reason. That doesn't. I wouldn't say they're in mid form yet, but they're obviously getting in stride, and we'll see when it comes to playoffs if anyone can threaten them. So yeah, NCSU dropped. Per Rai, you know, you're struggling to field a team. I feel it. It's essentially a potential disband at the point. And then UNT dropped. They lost to Oklahoma State. And I believe they had a loss to UIUC. And then teams to consider that we're like keeping an eye on: Butler, Fisher, Ritt, Vespa, Alabama. There was a couple others that we had on there, but they've been kind of tic-tac-toeing, where like Penn State lost to Fisher but beat Cincinnati. Cincinnati beat Fisher. A lot of tic-tac-toeing on who's beating who. But there are teams on the watch list. We're constantly watching, seeing who's making their rounds. So hopefully come playoff time, there's a little bit better understanding on these lower end top 16 to 25. ASU on the 3. Only reason you're not higher. Lost to Texas Tech hurts you, but you did beat Akron. Only way to surpass these right now would be beating them in playoffs or them fucking up in playoffs. But for sure, easy top 3. guaranteed top 5. Mr. Pentagram. Yep, top of Group B Premier for sure.
Top of West. That's not even a question.
Cincy was considered, but then also lost to 2 different people, from what I remember.
Lost to Northeastern, lost to Klimpse.
Have it here. So we got a win versus VCU, not really powerhouse. Win versus Marietta, not powerhouse. Ohio State C, not a powerhouse, still a win. Lost to Clemson, kind of hurt. Nick the stick out there, man. You can't give him credit. Did beat Fisher, can't take that away. Did beat Fisher. Beat FIU. Beat RIT. RIT is like a nice win here, but the loss to Northeastern did be hurting.
Yeah, simply put, your wins and losses kind of cancel each other out. If you could have converted a couple more of those, like taking a couple more runs off Northeastern, maybe got a map. You know,
I think
not losing to Fisher.
Depending how you show up in playoffs, well, is probably what's going to help that case, help most teams' case. 2 new things. I was spitballing since I have Squrrly here in Bait. I could spitball him. Have a trash talk or a Levron effect segment of the week. You know, someone drops a bozo in a match. You send it to one of the Dirt members. We'll broadcast it. We'll feature one a week. Like for example, we'll do Levron effect bozo of the week. Reverse yesterday said, man, y'all takes is some ass. A minute and a half, you have no map control. It was a 5v5. Clock was ticking. Minute 20, UTSA had full sight. It was a 5v2. 10 more seconds, it was a 5v1. Reverse was somewhere in Zimbabwe, bro. Bomb down, post plant. They proceeded to lose the next 6 6 attack rounds in a row. 5-1 lead completely squandered. So Levron effect of the week is going to be a segment that we want to do. Have people send in who's Levroning the hottest. There was another one I kind of wanted to drop like it's hot. Maybe clips of the week. Have a nice little top 3 clips of the week.
Should do an upset of the week section.
We could do an
upset of the week.
We could do an upset of the week situation. You know, spitballing some ideas here for to add in a little extra spice. Levron effect is, especially in collegiate, people love to be keyboard warriors. It's like more. Hey man, losing to outside top 10 teams. Yeah, y'all really want it. Y'all droning. Hey man, yeah, if you want W's, you got to drone. Can't be first blood every time, bro. And then proceed to not win the map before that, not winning the map you're playing on.
I mean, that's just type into a fault. And, you know, they're on, you know, the dirt right there is, unfortunately, Bort's typing is going to lead ISU to get banned from NACE.
Yo, they
pending.
They forfeited a map already, and it ended up costing them the series versus the legendary best collegiate team of all time, Columbia College.
Oh yeah.
But hey, yo, Moore gave them that W, straight handed it over. If Moore didn't type, it's a 2-0 ISU. Instead, they had to play a map 3 and lost it.
In ISU's defense, that's a baby boo by Columbia. Like, guys, come on, like, you don't be softies.
Yo, they went for the rulebook win, like someone else I know.
You know, I do that all the time, but you know, there's a mute button for all chat for a reason. So if you can't take it, you can just not see it. But if you want to see it and screenshot it and get free wins, you know, that's your prerogative, I guess. So all you teams playing in NACE, just make the other team talk and take screenshots and get a dub. Because apparently that's all you got to do. That's why we don't consider it. It's because you can get wins like that.
Yeah, rulebook wins most definitely don't move you up on leaderboard. If anything, they move you down. Because you're obviously not showing any skill. The rankings are about skill, not about free dubs. Um, but we are open to suggestions for more little segments. But for sure, Levron effect and clips of the week. Yo, we could actually we could do blunders of the week too. Someone send in hot team blunders, straight team whiffs, and we could throw them down for the one time.
The absolute most cringe-worthy throws of the week. Gotta do that.
I think, is there a way we can get somehow include the collegiate special of winning your opponent's map pick and then losing yours? But I feel like that's too hard to track.
Arguably the top west of Ohio. Facts.
I wouldn't even say that's an argument, to be honest.
Oh, Big Papa craving.
West of Ohio, there's just not much.
I'm trying to think what Ohio team, like Akron and Cincinnati are their own bubbles, northern and central. What's in eastern Ohio?
Now, he's saying that ASU is the best team once you're west of the state of Ohio in general.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought he was talking about Cincinnati.
Nah. He was still gassing up his own team.
Yo, this for sure is a blunder of the week.
Gotta show that off.
Ooh.
Hold on. We gotta set the scene. Hold on. Reset the clip. We gotta set the scene. So check this out, right? This is Alabama versus ISU on Oregon, map 2, right? ISU is down 0-1, 2v3. You got Palm and Wonder in the clutch, Snail, Hollywood, and Sob up, right? Roll the clip. 13 seconds left. We see Snail getting smoked. Plank going down. Going down in the corner. We got Hollywood sitting on that shield. Hollywood is a sub. Hollywood gets that kill. Nitro goes out, and this is the worst whiff you'll ever see, guys. Like, I can't even.
That's what happens when they don't have cow.
Bruh. My man literally walked by the planner. Literally looks at the planner. Straight chucked the C4. Sees the planner here because he's already sticking out. And gets fucking hip fire whiffed on. Yo. Blunders of the week, make it happen. I know people be clipping their teammates when they're botching kills. So, send them in. If you got Levron effects from other teams, send them in. We'll take them. We're gonna create segments. Gotta expand the dark culture. But
All I'm gonna say is Hollywood needs to rebrand to StevieWonder.isu after that one.
Jesus,
Dude just can't see it.
my man's gonna need new glasses after that one. My man might be looking for a new roster after that one. But other than that, don't got any other dirt info for this week. Hopefully, in 2 weeks, I will be in Chicago, but we'll probably still put out an episode when I come back. So probably that weekend. Yeah, so send in Levrons and send in clips and blunders. But other than that, this has been Miggs, Squrrly, and Bait doing the Dirt Report.
Yes, sir.
Latest, boys.
See ya.
Adios, peeps.